The Mountain Man had not come down from the high country in 3 winters, and the town felt smaller than he remembered, louder, meaner somehow, as if civilization had learned new ways to grind people down, while the mountains had stayed honest. His name was Elias Crow, a name spoken quietly in trading posts and campfires, because men like him did not bargain much and did not lie at all. He rode into the valley with dust on his boots, scars on his hands, and a single purpose: to buy horses strong enough to survive thin air and cruel slopes. He had gold sewn into his coat, pelt strapped behind his saddle, and no intention of staying longer than the sun. But fate rarely waits for permission. At the edge of the trading yard, beyond the corral and the shouting men, he saw her. She stood on a wooden fence like a thing put on display, 1 foot balanced, chin lifted, eyes steady despite the humiliation burning behind them. A sign hung nearby, written in rough chalk, not calling her a woman, not calling her human, only listing a price. Elias stopped walking. The noise of the yard fell away. He had seen hunger, violence, death, but not this quiet cruelty pretending to be commerce. Men laughed nearby, discussing horses, while others stared at her as if she were another animal for sale. She did not cry. That, more than anything, unsettled him. When he asked the trader what the sign meant, the man shrugged and said she belonged to a debt, to a contract, to a world that swallowed women when men decided they were worth less than land. Elias did not argue. He simply asked the price. The trader smiled, thinking he had found another buyer of flesh. Gold changed hands. Papers were signed. And when it was done, Elias did something no one expected. He tore the contract in half and handed it back to her. He told her she was free. The word sounded strange in the dust. She did not believe him at first. Freedom had been promised to her before, always with strings, always with lies. But Elias did not touch her, did not command her, did not even look at her the way the others had. He told her he was leaving town by sunset and she could walk any direction she chose. The choice broke something open inside her. She followed him, not because she owed him, but because for the first time, someone had given her dignity without asking for her body in return. And as they rode out, the mountains watched, old and silent, as if recognizing the beginning of something dangerous and rare. The mountains did not welcome Clara gently, but they welcomed her honestly, and that was something she had never known before. The first nights were the hardest. The cold crept through the seams of the cabin Elias built with his own hands, and silence pressed in so tightly it made her heart race. In town there had always been noise, voices, cruelty, laughter without joy. Up here there was only wind, fire, and truth. Elias never treated her like something fragile, nor like something owned. He showed her one of 3. How to work, how to endure, and then stepped back and let her decide who she would become. That freedom was heavier than chains at first. Some mornings she woke expecting orders, expecting debt, expecting punishment. None came. Instead, Elias handed her a rifle, taught her how to aim, how to breathe, how to trust herself. Slowly, painfully, she realized she was not surviving anymore. She was living. When men from the valley finally rode up the mountain, claiming papers and ownership, Clara stepped forward before Elias could speak. Her voice shook, but it did not break. She told them she was not for sale, not now, not ever again. The mountains stood behind her like witnesses. The men left smaller than they arrived. In the seasons that followed, the cabin became a home not because of walls but because of choice. Elias and Clara were not bound by rescue or debt, but by respect. He had gone to buy horses that day, thinking strength came from muscle and steel. Instead, he found something rarer, someone brave enough to reclaim her life, and someone strong enough to let her. And in the quiet of the mountains, far from fences and price tags, 2 broken paths crossed and became a road neither had known they were searching. For winter arrived early in the mountains, the kind of winter that tested not just strength but truth. Clara learned quickly that the cold did not care about her past, and strangely that made her feel lighter. Each morning she woke before the sun, not because she was ordered to, but because she wanted to prove something to herself. Elias never hovered. He showed her once, sometimes twice, then stepped aside. That space was terrifying at first. Freedom demanded responsibility, and responsibility demanded courage. She learned how to trap, how to mend, how to read the sky and listen to the snow. Some nights memories returned, voices from the valley. The fence, the sign with the price. When fear tightened her chest, Elias did not speak. He simply kept the fire alive, steady and patient, until she remembered she was safe. Slowly the mountains reshaped her. Her hands grew strong, her back straight, her eyes certain. When spring broke the ice, word traveled up the trails. Men came claiming she still belonged, to papers and promises written, without her consent. They expected Elias to answer for her. Instead, Clara stepped forward. Her voice was calm now. She told them she chose where she stood. She chose who she lived with. She chose her life. There was no anger in her words, only truth. And truth was heavier than any threat they carried. They left without a fight because there was nothing left to claim. In the years that followed, travelers spoke of a mountain cabin where a woman stood as tall as the peaks and a man who never tried to own what could not be owned. Elias sometimes thought about the day he went to buy horses and how close he had come to riding past that fence. Clara thought about it too, not with pain anymore, but with